Star beings, in today's reading we're going to be taking a look at how do people see you right now. So in terms of your pile selection, you can either choose the pile you're most drawn to, or you can choose your pile based off your zodiac, which is in the thumbnail. So for pile 1 we have Tiger's Eye with the King of Wands. For pile 2 we have Amethyst with the Queen of Pentacles. And for pile 3 we have Fairy Crystal with the Eight of Pentacles. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Once you are done picking a pile, you can find your timestamps for your pile in the description box below. The sponsored segment of the reading is about to start in a few seconds, so if you want to support the channel by watching that, I do appreciate it. So I will see you at your reading. I'll try to be as accurate as I can, but it is a bit tricky when reading for the collective. If you want something more personal, you can always check in with a psychic for a more in-depth description. Speaking of which, I tried a clairvoyant from Psychic Source, and yes, they're sponsoring today's video. Thank you, Psychic Source. I got matched with a clairvoyant through their site, and honestly, I wasn't expecting her to be that accurate. I gave her no personal info, just asked about my future love life, and somehow she instantly picked up that I'm already in a relationship. She literally said, "Why are you asking about the future without mentioning him?" I was literally speechless, but then I remembered that's kind of what I do too. Still a shocking experience to be on the receiving end of it. She described my future partner as someone who makes me really happy, with great communication and a bond that can handle anything. But the part that really stuck with me, she said she saw my future husband giving me purple flowers. A few weeks later, nothing happened, so I kind of forgot about it. Then we saw a tattoo promo on Instagram. My boyfriend sent me his ideas so I can book, and boom, a purple flower. Not a bouquet, but I'm definitely taking that as a sign. You can chat with gifted advisors however you're most comfortable, phone, video, or even text. Setting up my account on their website was super easy, and they have this quick little quiz that helps you find a psychic based on what you're looking for, whether it's love, past lives, energy readings, whatever. It made the whole process really personal and intentional. What sets them apart is the level of care and integrity. Only 2% of their applicants actually become advisors, so you know you're speaking to someone who's truly gifted and held to high ethical standards. And they back everything up with a no-risk guarantee. If you're not happy with your last paid reading, it's free. For a limited time, you can use my code Siren at psychicsource.com when checking out, or you can just click the link in my description box below at trypsychicsource.com/siren. You'll get up to 40 minutes with an advisor for just $19.80. That's up to a $240 value. You don't have to use it all in one session. You can spread those minutes out across multiple advisors to see who you truly resonate with. They also donate 1% of your purchase to charity at no extra cost to you. Oh, and yes, I do get paid for this promo, so when you sign up with Psychic Source, you're feeding a perpetually hungry, slightly dramatic psychic, that'd be me, and funding my next impulsive crystal purchase. As you can see, the channel needs some new crystals, but that's all for now. Thank you again to Psychic Source for sponsoring today's video. Pile 1, you chose the Tiger's Eye Crystal and the King of Wands. We're going to be taking a look at how do people see you right now. Before we get started with your reading, I'd just like to announce that I do have a limited amount of space for personal readings, 10 spots only, and the readings are going to take place in the first week of December. So if you want to book with me, you can find all the details, my contact details in the description box below. So, spirit guides of pile number 1, please tap me into their energy. Please show me, how do people see my pile number 1s right now? How do people view pile 1 right now? How do people see pile 1 right now? We have the Lovers. we have the King of Swords and the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands can represent people seeing you as very hot right now, physically. Maybe a lot of people are attracted to you or just find something appealing about you physically, but also personality-wise. I was also hearing the song Smooth Operator by Sade as soon as I started your reading, so maybe people do see you as kind of like charming in a way, smooth with the way you talk. And I guess that would be people that are attracted to you, but also people that just find you charismatic in some way. With the Lovers, perhaps you also have a lot of people crushing on you right now, or thinking they would feel lucky to have some kind of romantic connection with you, not only because of your attraction and looks, but also because of your personality traits. Maybe a lot of people are just looking at you as desirable right now in the love setting. But also sexually with the Ace of Wands, people see you as somebody logical yet daring. They see you as someone magnetic, confident, and impossible to ignore. There's something about you walking to a room and your presence is just known. People also do see you as very admirable. Your energy feels like someone who's stepping into their power, taking action and going after what they want without hesitation. They may see you as bold, passionate, a natural leader. You're very noticeable in some way. Like not just physically, but your energy too. It's like your presence makes you known without you even speaking. People do also see you as someone inspiring, with strong goals and a clear sense of direction. Very self-assured, even if you don't feel that way inside. They may assume that you're more experienced or knowledgeable than your age, that you're not afraid to take risks, and that you're unafraid of attention or being seen. Many people feel drawn to you because you carry this fiery energy, purpose, and momentum. Maybe a lot of you are fire signs. We also see Gemini with the Lovers, and a lot of air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. You're coming across as somebody that's bossing up, leveling up, or about to make big moves. With the King of Swords along with that, maybe you're very strategic when it comes to the decisions you make, when it comes to your passions, career moves, or goals. People see you as someone exciting to be around, as well as diligent when it comes to the things you're focusing on. You won't be distracted by small little things. Yet at the same time, you can still make room for fun and exciting, spontaneous experiences. People do see you as a romantic, but maybe not somebody that's like so lovey-dovey or so emotional. People just see you as this more logical yet passionate person, maybe in love. Somebody that possibly like has the words of affirmation love language, and is maybe like very physical in relationships, like maybe physical touch love language, King of Cups, the Emperor, the Eight of Cups, and the Empress reverse. So a lot of people do feel like you bring up insecurities in them. When you kind of leave the room, I see them like reflecting on those insecurities. And it has to do with the things I mentioned before, like you being seen as desirable, you being seen as somebody confident, goal-orientated, where you're just moving after what you want, going after it. Maybe you're creating some kind of stability for yourself or creating some kind of legacy. I feel like people think you're making kind of career moves or that you would be an entrepreneur or in some kind of managerial leadership position. That's what people assume about you, just based on the way you act. I also see you hanging out with people and then you leave, and some may tend to gossip about you because of insecurities. People think you have a dynamic personality, that you're very honest. They do also see you as somebody that's idealistic in love, where you see the best in people. But also in the workplace, you almost see people's potential and push them towards their potential in some way. People would imagine you to be that way. Some of you could also be artistic, graceful, tactful, diplomatic, a mediator, or a negotiator. And maybe within your career, people see you as somebody that kind of like acts with grace in your career. And I guess you're just very likable in all areas of your life, even at work. Maybe you come up with creative solutions at work, or you kind of create better teams in some way. People may also see you as very flirty, even when you're not trying to be. Like, you could just speak to a person and maybe be kinder to them. They will think you're flirting with them. But people might also think that you have unrealistic expectations when it comes to others. But what I'm seeing here is, like when you have standards and people that don't have standards kind of get offended by that because they lack some kind of self-worth. They are getting offended by it because maybe they see you like turning down situations that aren't favorable to you or aren't the best for you, and you're able to turn it down, whether it be an opportunity, an offer from somebody else within love or career. There's just something about you being able to turn it down and know that better can come your way, and I see them getting offended by it. Okay. Next, we have the Nine of Swords, we have the Hierophant, and we have the Nine of Pentacles reverse. Okay, so some people think that you're afraid other people won't value you for what you're bringing, or that you're afraid that other people would overlook certain qualities you have that are kind of admirable in some way, like, for example, your intelligence, your wisdom, or your ideas. But with the Nine of Pentacles reverse, a lot of people think that you don't need other people's validation to feel good about yourself, to feel good about where you're going at the moment, because a lot of people see these qualities and traits even if they don't compliment it out loud. They see your intelligence and your wisdom. They see that you kind of like worry about the decisions you're making. You try to make the best decisions for yourself in your life at the moment. Even within your career, people see these qualities, your coworkers, your boss, whatever, your clients. But it's like you don't need that validation from other people to know that about yourself. Because people do notice it even if they don't compliment it. We have the World, we have the Six of Wands, and we have the Chariot, as well as the Star. Okay, so people see you as someone that is definitely going to achieve a lot for yourself with your goals, that you're definitely going to find some kind of power within your career, and recognition with the Star and the Chariot, that you're going to basically level up and move up in life in some way. People see it as like you believe in yourself, that you're talented or very good at what you're skilled at. People see you as a go-getter, someone they would want to help in some way wherever you need it. I think because you're very likable, people kind of see it as like they would want to extend a helping hand to you whenever you need it, but that you don't fully need them, even if you feel you do. People see you as somebody that's generous with what you have, your resources, your knowledge, or your money. They may also see you as protective over what you have, though, where you're not too generous to the point where you're just giving it away to everybody. People may also see you as quite memorable. I'm getting somebody that's quite tall, physically, or maybe there's something about your energy that is just expansive in some way if you're not physically tall. If not, maybe people look up to you metaphorically. People also see you as somebody that's independent, and whenever you go through a challenge, you will always end up okay, even if you are worried or stressed out in that situation. You always find a way to get through it, or find a way to think of a solution. It's all about your perspective in those moments, the way you're looking at the situation. People may see you as unforgettable and memorable in every way. Again, with the star, there's this inspiring energy. It's kind of like you're seen as shining and thriving in whatever you're doing right now. People may also see you as somebody that isn't entertaining past exes at the moment. Like you're moving forward, not looking back at the past. And I'm seeing something about like being very hard on yourself in the sense of deadlines and timelines. Like maybe you want to get something done by a certain time period, or you have like a certain goal where you set a deadline. So people think that you're very like hard on yourself when it comes to that, and that you want to meet your deadlines, which people think is a great thing, but some people think that you're like too strict with yourself, which may or not be true. That's just their thoughts. We have the King of Cups, we have the Five of Cups, the Two of Wands. I heard patient, that you're someone that's adventurous, you can explore, but again, you don't allow yourself to get distracted by things that aren't, paying your bills or helping you kind of expand or grow in a way, or even level up. People see you as somebody that, yes, may portray yourself as more logical, but might be a softie deep down. Like you might not show all your emotions to people, but you might feel things deeply, deep down. That's what some people think. And that you kind of hide your disappointments or what you've been through and act like it doesn't affect you, but maybe it does. That's what some people think. That you kind of like seem more tough on the outside or more intimidating on the outside, but inside you're a softie. But I think that's people that maybe like either want to see you more deeply or have known you more well. People also see you as somebody that has good manners. You know how to act when it comes to like certain situations, whether it's you being at a restaurant, being at somebody's house. But even when people come over into your place, there's something about you being hospitable. How do you say that word? Anyways, some people also think that you're about to reach your peak and you just don't know it yet. And they see you as somebody that they would want to keep in their life forever. Not just because of what you have, but because of the value you bring to people. People may think that you have, or that you will have, an expensive or luxurious taste in clothing, in items in your home, for example. That you also make decisions or plans that are going to prevent disappointment or things falling apart. So when you make a decision, it's like you take into consideration all points of view of what could happen potentially, and you try to avoid disappointment, either with others or with yourself. So for example, let's say you're making a decision in your career. Maybe you're trying to like make everybody happy, if it like affects the company and like the people that work there. Or we could look at this as like taking into consideration all options and trying to make the decision that will bring the best results, so that everybody included in that can feel happy with the results. So we have the Page of Wands as well as the Three of Wands, with the Seven of Swords and Four of Swords. Some people think that you don't allow yourself to rest or to kind of like wind down at times, that you're very hard on yourself, that you're always like in hustle mode or go, go, go mode, if that makes sense. Some that are envious think that you're putting on this front to make yourself seem happier with your life than you actually are. Or to make it seem like you're working on things that you're actually not working on, which I don't think is true, but I think that's what the envious people tell themselves to make themselves feel better. It's like they think that the plans you're saying you're going to do are just talk and it's not real. But I think a lot of people know that you don't just talk about what you're going to do, you actually take action towards it. I mean, you have the King of Wands as your main indicator card, which is like a very action-orientated card. So I think those jealous people are just telling themselves that. We have the Two of Swords and the High Priestess. A lot of people think that you're very perceptive. It's almost like you just have this inner knowing of what's the best decision to make. I feel like we have a lot of like energies coming up about your decision-making skills. So people keep thinking about that, thinking that the decisions you make for yourself is admirable. It's like you just know the best decision to make in the situation. Maybe you'll think about it a little bit, strategize a bit, but it's like you just know the best outcome for you. People may also see you as a trendsetter, somebody that other people want to copy or imitate or be like. I am seeing Taurus energy in my mind's eye as well. And I'm seeing in my mind's eye that people are clapping for you. So even though there are haters here or people that envy you, most people clap for you and want to see you win in some way. So now let's go ahead and pull your zodiacs and initials for extra confirmation. I'm hoping that we will get zodiacs that represent your energy or that represent the people that are viewing you this way. So if you know anybody with the zodiac I mentioned now, then that's just extra confirmation for you that they're the ones viewing you this way. So let me know how this has resonated for you so far in the comments below. Okay, we actually got a little bit more than I expected. Okay, we have... I think I'm going to take 2 away because that's too much. We have Pisces, Sagittarius, we have Aries. It's interesting, I mentioned fire sign energy and you chose the King of Wands, and we have Sagittarius and Aries here. We have Gemini as well. Confirmation. We have Virgo. And we have Taurus. I love that the signs we mentioned actually came up here. So now let's get the initials. So we have I, W, B, C, Q, D, I, O, Y, A, L, and lastly, oh no, we still have quite a few here. There was like one sticking together, T, F, and R. So that is all I have for you. I do hope this reading resonated with you, my pal ones. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you like my readings and you want to see more exclusive content of mine, I do post a weekly video on my membership. So thank you for being here and watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Pal 2, you chose the Amethyst crystal and the Queen of Pentacles. We're going to be taking a look at how do people see you right now. So before we get started with your reading, I just want to make a quick announcement. I do have a limited amount of space, 10 spots, for personal readings in the first week of December. So if you want to book with me, you can find all my contact details in the description box below. So, spirit guides of pile number 2. Please tap me into their energy and people's perception of them. Please show me, how do people see my pile twos? How are people viewing my pile twos right now? The High Priestess, which is interesting because you chose Amethyst. We have the Knight of Cups. Oh my gosh. We have Justice. And then I'll take a look at these other cards in a second. So I am hearing that song by Kanye West. I think it's him, where he goes like, everything that I have, praise the Lord. So maybe there's something about gratitude for what you have. You always just looking for reasons to be grateful and positive rather than pessimistic. Maybe there's something about religion or spirituality coming up, your belief in God. The High Priestess here tells me that people see you as very intuitive or spiritual in some way. Yet people may also see you as somebody that has a lot of secrets and can also be a little bit private at times. It's like you're cautious of who you can share things with, but with the Justice card here, people don't view that secretiveness as you hiding something. They see you as very honest, trustworthy, and maybe not the most open book, but you are honest and you're not hiding anything bad. So that's what people think of you. People think that you're just at the exact place you're meant to be right now. And everything happens for you at the perfect moment, at the perfect time. It's kind of like things are aligned for you in a way. Like you receive things at the exact moment you need it, or things start happening for you at the exact moment you need it to happen. There's also something about using your intuition in dating and love, but also within relationships. So maybe you use your intuition to tell what a person's vibe is, to tell who they are behind closed doors before you date or open up to them in love. But also in friendships, maybe it's like you know when a person has a good vibe or not, when they have good intentions or not. And maybe this helps you within your love life or within just relationships in general. People could see you as very perceptive and observant of other people. You notice things that other people might miss. And you're always right about who you should trust and who you shouldn't. You're always right about people, even if people don't see it at first. Even if the person seems nice and likable, but you don't trust them, you always end up right. You may even be that type of person that's so intuitive, like you could see a couple and know that they're just like the worst for each other. And other people are like, no, they're so cute together. But then maybe 2 weeks later, they break up. So there's this sharp intuition of you like saying certain things about certain people. People may be being like, oh, I don't know if I believe that. And then like shortly after, it gets proven to them that you were right about that situation. So I see a lot of situations like that happening. People may also see you as kind of like inaccessible in some way. Like it's hard to access you, it's hard to get a hold of you. It's hard to even get you to be around them in some way. Maybe you're very selective of who you keep around you, or maybe you're just very busy all the time and it's like hard to get a hold of you, because I see somebody that's maybe like a slow responder when it comes to like text messages, calls, things like that. Or maybe you're not always like seen outside. Maybe you're more of an introvert or homebody, that you don't always want to be out and about with people. Or like I said, maybe you're just busy, but that is what I'm getting here. I don't think people take it personally though. Let's say you take 2 weeks to respond to somebody, they're not going to take it personal. They're just like, oh, typical pal too. There is something about what you wear that is coming up as quite prominent that people notice. You could wear a lot of like loose clothes that are kind of flowy, silk, satin, lace. You just have a very good fashion style and taste. I'm seeing like a unique fashion style. I'm seeing goth or alternative looks. A kind of Tim Burton beauty for some. Or I'm seeing a very bougie kind of look. I'm even seeing like streetwear fashion or like a coquette fashion style or like a very girly kind of fashion style. Maybe some of you wear a lot of dresses. People love it like when your hair's down if you have long hair. If you're a man, I see this specifically for men, but this could relate to women too. I'm seeing like a man's muscular legs. There's something about your voice that is melodic. Some of you could have deeper or more raspy voices, but there's something about your voice that is beautiful to the ears. And you're also good with aesthetics, like maybe you know how to make things look aesthetically pleasing. I do feel some insecurities though there. So either people feel insecure when they see you making things look aesthetically pleasing, whether it be your home, your fashion, or even giving a makeover to another person. Or you could feel insecure within that, like, oh, is it good enough? But then people look at it as really good, like your fashion style, the way you style your home, things like that. Even the handbags you wear, if you're a woman, or the heels you wear. And if you're a man, I see like specifically the shoes you wear, like I'm seeing like Nike sneakers, things like that in my mind's eye. Okay, so let's take a look at the next cards. We have the Hanged Man, we have the Sun, the Five of Swords reverse. So people see you as the last person that would betray them. You just kind of seem like this trustworthy person, how I said before, but it's coming up again with the Five of Swords reverse. People feel like they can trust you with their life. They feel like you would never do anything behind their back or betray them in any way. And with the Sun, a lot of people want to be your friend or want to be around you. People do perceive you as a very happy, positive person, and the type of person that will also be happy for others and want to see others win and not necessarily like try to compete with others in any way. Because you're happy with your life, you don't need to tear anybody else down because you're not miserable with yourself, but also because that's just not within your values. However, with this energy, I am picking up on one or two people that maybe have a bad perception of you because they feel hurt by you in some way. So I'm going to try tap into what this energy is. Okay, you started out as very sweet with them because I'm seeing honey in my mind's eye. But now I'm seeing like a dog that is like growling. And of course, I'm not comparing you to a dog, but spirit speaks in metaphors. And what I'm seeing is like maybe this dog doesn't know how to like speak or set a boundary, but it growls as a way of like setting a boundary to say, don't touch me, or, you know, I don't want to be picked up right now, whatever. So I'm kind of getting that energy of like you setting a boundary with like one or two people, maybe in a little bit of a harsh way with the growl I'm seeing, to kind of put them in their place, and maybe it kind of catch them off guard in some way, caught them off guard. It was unexpected because you were so sweet with them in the beginning, and because you were kind of like harsh with your boundary. It's kind of like they took it personally and they thought that you were being like mean to them in the moment, or that you don't like them anymore. But I feel like these are people that just aren't comfortable with boundaries being set. But that's because they have a lack of boundaries themselves. So they take it personal. This could be the type of person that's like a people pleaser, where they don't set boundaries for themselves, so but when another person does, it kind of like they take it personal, if that makes sense. Or this could be somebody that maybe crosses other people's boundaries constantly and doesn't realize it, or maybe they do realize and they don't care. And so they're taken aback when you do finally set a boundary. So I don't think you did anything wrong in that situation, but they're making it seem as though they're the victim in this situation when you just protected yourself and protected your peace. And it's 11:11 on the clock, so confirmation. I also saw the angel number 222 earlier for you guys. So maybe you see a lot of angel numbers, signs, synchronicities. Maybe you've been seeing signs about this situation. So we have Pisces with the Hangman, Leo with the Sun, Pisces again with the High Priestess, and Justice, which is Libra. Maybe some Earth sign energy. We will get zodiacs later on, but that's just what I see so far. So people also see you as somebody that is spiritual, but also grounded, nurturing, steady, and dependable. Your energy feels warm, comforting, and abundant. You also give off the vibe of someone who has their life together, or at least handles challenges with grace. They may see you as wise, practical, and responsible, yet also spiritual or intuitive. Somebody who values stability, comfort, and quality, caring and supportive, the type people feel safe around, but also mature, calm, and emotionally balanced. You like to kind of, I hear like play devil's advocate, or you like to give people the benefit of the doubt in all situations and be unbiased with your advice as well. You kind of like to see the situation from both sides. People feel like whenever they need you, you're there for them. Of course, when you do need to kind of like take some time for yourself, you will set a boundary. But I feel like most of the time, people just see you as somebody they can rely on in some way. People may also assume that you're good with money, resources, or planning, that you're someone that gives great advice, like I said, that you're the mom or dad friend or the caretaker in your circle in a good way, or that you're somebody that is building long-term success. Your presence feels nurturing, like somebody that creates a safe space, and overall you're seen as elegant, composed, reliable, and abundant inside and out. Even if you don't have money, there's something about your energy that's abundant, and people kind of assume that you're lucky in some way based off that alignment we spoke about earlier, where things just fall into your lap the moment it's needed, at the right moment, at the right place, at the right time. People think that you carry yourself with your head held up high. And it's interesting because with these messages, I'm using like very minimal cards, but I'm getting the messages very fast, which means that you're very tapped in spiritually. Because with pile one, I needed to get more cards to get more messages, but it doesn't mean anything negative. It just means that with you guys, you're more tapped in, that I'm getting the messages very easily. Maybe you're like that. People also see you as somebody that can keep a secret and a promise. But they would also feel more comfortable telling you their secrets. I feel like people feel very comfortable around you where they can just tell you things about themselves and not worry about you telling anybody else that. People see you as somebody that could be a great friend. They see you as someone with a great smile. And there's something almost like ethereal or magical about you. This white horse has come up twice and it kind of reminds me of a unicorn. I don't know why, but I want to Google what the white horse means since it's shown up twice. So, a white horse symbolizes purity, triumph, and new beginnings across various spiritual traditions. It represents victory, divine power, and righteousness as seen in religious texts. Culturally, it can represent freedom, transformation, and hope, representing spiritual journeys, good fortune, and the connection between different realms. People also see you as somebody that is very expressive when it comes to creativity, fashion, style. It's like you express your personality through all that. You're possibly also seen as somebody extravagant, bold, materialistic yet spiritual at the same time. Abundant manifester, I just heard. So maybe people see you as somebody that like manifests your dream life if they are spiritual and know about manifestation, or if they just are open-minded and know about it. I'm also hearing Mars energy, so we could have some Aries and Scorpio placements in this pile. Or you could know how to confront situations, yet still in a graceful, diplomatic way based off the cards we have here. Even when you're having conflicts or disagreements with somebody, you know how to like sort of say the things you want to say, be truthful, but say it in maybe a more diplomatic, graceful way. Like maybe you don't get quick to be angered in some way, but let's say you're having a conflict with somebody, maybe you call them out on their BS with justice here. You still tell the truth about who they are and what your opinion is of them, but you're not doing so in a way where you're showing anger, at least most of the time. Maybe there are some times where you're a little bit less patient if you're, like, let's say in a bad mood, that I can understand, but people see you like this most of the time. People see you as someone with a higher perspective. People probably think that you kind of just are wise because you've had a happy life, that you're secure because you've had a happy life. And that may not necessarily be the case. Like, people haven't seen the things you've been through. But I think you're extremely self-aware and you choose happiness. You choose to be joyful right now, even if that's not what your past looked like. And even if you've had an easy, comfortable life, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you're happy with your life, you're happy with it. But I think people just assume that you've always been lucky, that you've always been happy, that you never go through challenges because you seem so optimistic, that they wonder, like, what could this person have gone through since they're so positive. So, Judgment, the Knight of Wands reverse. People see you as the opposite of impulsive. It's like when you make a decision, you're very steady. Like, you think about the long term with the Queen of Pentacles here, but you also use your intuition and you don't doubt it. I feel like some of you have experienced gaslighting at the hands of others, I just heard. Or people trying to like make you doubt your intuition, but you don't let that kind of like stop you or hold you back in any way. I feel like people have told you certain things, but you kind of just chose to not carry what they said. You chose to not carry that energy with you because you didn't agree with it. Like, maybe somebody projected something onto you saying you're like this, and you're like, no, I'm not going to carry that. I'm not going to choose to believe that about myself. People think that you've come to the place where you are just happy with yourself and fuck what everybody else has to say. Sorry for my language, because maybe for so long you tried to please others, but nobody was like truly happy. Everybody like always had something to say, whether it was positive or negative. So now you're just living your life for you. You're not trying to live your life to please anybody, because people will always have something to say, whether negative or positive, and it doesn't matter to you anymore. You've kind of like lifted that extra weight off your shoulders. You've let it go. You don't need like other people's kind of like harsh opinions holding you down in some way. So let's remove these cards and take a look at zodiacs and initials now. So I'm hoping to get your zodiac or the zodiacs of those that are seeing you like this right now. So if I mention any and it makes you think of somebody you know, then that is confirmation that they're seeing you this way. I'm also seeing somebody that wears a lot of trousers, like business casual kind of like look. So people take note of your fashion choices a lot, since I'm like getting a lot of fashionable energies here. We have Pisces, which I did mention earlier. We have Aries, Libra. Maybe some of you have both Aries and Libra in your chart. We have Taurus. Or maybe you could have some opposite people viewing you right now like this, because Aries and Libra are like opposite signs, sister signs. We have Capricorn and we have Virgo. Interesting that all the earth signs came up and you chose an earth sign card, the Queen of Pentacles. For some reason, Pisces and Virgo always shows up in my readings, like all the time, like almost every pile. So maybe I have a lot of Pisces and Virgos watching me. Okay, let's see what initials we get now. We have the initial H, C, E. I'm also seeing Hello Kitty, R, Y, J. I'm also hearing perfectionist. Maybe people see you as a perfectionist. M, O, A. People may also see you as a little bit mysterious, unpredictable. O again. B. Sometimes confusing. E. Maybe you've had like people make you feel misunderstood in some way. K, G, and L. So that is all I have for you, pile 2. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you like my readings and want to see more exclusive content of mine, I do post a weekly video on my membership. So thank you for being here and watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Pile 3, you chose the Fairy Crystal and the Eight of Pentacles. We're going to be taking a look at how do people see you right now. So before we get started with your reading, I have a quick announcement I want to make. So I do have a limited amount of space available for personal readings, 10 spots exactly. So the readings are going to take place in the first week of December. If you want to book with me, you can find all my contact information in the description box below. So, spirit guides of pile number 3, please tap me into their energy. Please show me people's perception of them right now. How do people see my pile 3s right now? How do people see my pile 3s right now? Do some of you have a twin? I'm getting like that energy. I don't think it will resonate with everybody, of course, but I'm seeing somebody here with a twin. Okay, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Something about nice handbags. Like, I don't know if you're always like constantly buying handbags, but I'm seeing somebody with like different handbags each time another person sees them. Like, they're rocking a new handbag and it's like, whoa, like your bags are so nice. How do you have so much money to have so many bags? Or like, are you collecting them? Are you like, there's that kind of energy coming through. So the Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords reverse, and the Empress upright. Since we have the Eight of Pentacles as your main indicator card, I feel like a lot of this perception of you is coming from people you work with, clients, co-workers, or your boss. Now, it doesn't have to be, but a lot of that energy coming through in this reading could be from them. Either way, with the Eight of Pentacles, people see you as a hard worker. People see you as somebody that's focused and dedicated to your craft. Your energy is very in your zone, improving, building, or perfecting something important to you. And it seems with the Seven of Pentacles, you kind of like work smarter in a way, or you try to make everything more efficient. I'm even getting like great time management. You know how to kind of like dedicate enough time to a specific task and then move on to the next. Maybe you focus on like one task at a time until it's complete. And maybe you try to not make it too perfect, but you try to be productive in some way. So that's how people see you in general. They see you as somebody that's ambitious and really committed, somebody who's leveling up their skills or their work and kind of like looking to master their skills or learn more or expand in their skills or talents. A person who doesn't mind putting in effort or extra time or work to reach some kind of mastery. Somebody that's reliable, disciplined, and detail-oriented. People may assume that you're busy with goals, projects, or self-improvement, that you're a perfectionist in the best way, that you're someone that values your own work and the kind of quality of your work, that you value progress and growth, and that you're quietly building something big for your future. I'm also seeing somebody that's like looking to build stability to help their family in some way financially. So your energy is focused right now, and others can see you're on a mission. They respect your dedication and see you as somebody that will go far because you're putting in the work. Maybe you've been feeling stuck in some way with the Eight of Swords, but you're kind of determined to get yourself unstuck in some way, to create freedom for yourself, whether it be financial freedom or just freedom in general. You have a lot of goals, and with many goals comes many responsibilities and lots of effort to put in. And it seems like you're working on staying consistent to your goals, even when the motivation's not there, right? So I see you just being determined to kind of just get yourself out of the stuck situation so that you can feel free. Even if you're putting in the hard work now, it's so that later, when it pays off, you'll be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. It's kind of like I see somebody like working towards saving up for retirement if you're at that age, or even now, like preparing for your future, like maybe paying off student loans or having a goal to buy a home, something like that. It's like you're working to kind of move to the next level, even if it's sometimes difficult. And you're determined to not let anything from your past influence your future or influence your beliefs. Maybe you're getting rid of limited beliefs or overthinking that just doesn't serve you. Even if it shows up here in your energy, you're working on getting out of that energy. And that's how people are seeing you right now. People see you as someone comforting to be around, someone helpful as well. And you don't come across as somebody that's snarky or mean either. You come across as somebody that's like very warm, friendly, nurturing, and helpful. So I see somebody like walking into a party or their first day at the job or the room, wherever you are. And maybe they're nervous. Maybe they don't know anybody there. They're like a stranger to everybody, and everybody looks so intimidating. But you seem kind of like approachable in the best way, where you seem kind of kind, you seem warm and friendly, where it kind of just feels like even if I don't know you, even if you're a stranger, I feel like I can approach you because I feel like you're actually going to respect me and be kind to me in some way. So a lot of people view you that way. When I say me, I'm in their energy. The Empress here shows a very nurturing, kind person, but also shows someone that values themselves and has self-love. It also shows a lot of beauty with the Empress, so people do see you as very beautiful physically, but also inside. Now, with the Queen of Cups reversed at the back of the deck, people do see you as somewhat detached emotionally. It's like you can be nurturing and kind, but you're not the most emotional person. You also don't take things personal. Like, someone could do something like blow you off or be rude to you in the moment or cancel plans with you last minute, and it doesn't seem to affect you. Like, you just try to not take things personally. You try to not like let other people affect your emotions or what they're doing affect your emotions. And maybe for some of you, it took a long time for you to get here to kind of like strengthen yourself emotionally. But maybe for others, you've always been this way where you're just not a very emotional person. I see this energy of like you overcoming things you thought you would never overcome. You thought were impossible to get through, but you did. And sometimes when people feel that way themselves, they kind of look at you and see the things you overcame in your own life where you thought you couldn't. and they start to feel a little bit more positive too. When they feel like they're losing hope, they look at situations where you maybe lost hope and things worked out for you in the best way possible, and they kind of use that as their indication of hope. I feel like crying in the energy, so people get very emotional when they think of this. Because I'm not physically sad, but I feel tears coming up for me as I'm in the energy. So maybe people see you as somebody that's kind of like inspiring in the sense where you've overcome things you thought were impossible, and they kind of use you as their beacon of hope. That good things can happen, that change can happen, that things can work out for us in the best possible way, even when it seems unlikely. Okay, let's get some more cards. How do people see my pile number 3s right now? People may also see you as strategic. When you make your move, you're focusing on winning. You're playing chess, not checkers. Maybe you're also good at winning arguments or providing the facts that kind of like people can't argue with. We have the 8 of Wands showing up reverse. I see somebody that's always prepared in all areas. What I'm seeing in my mind's eye is this friend I used to have, like, he was a co-worker, but I considered him a best friend at the time. And anyways, he kind of was like always prepared. He kind of just always seemed put together in the way he was dressed. Like, he dressed in a very neat way. He had a sassy personality and he was very funny. And he was always like gossiping to me about his dating life, like guys he was with and stuff like that. Trying to think what his personality was like so I can kind of like reference it, because maybe there's messages within that. And anyways, like, he was always prepared in the sense where, let's say there was a meeting or something, he would always have notes ready. If somebody was going to accuse him of something in the work, like making a mistake, he'd have the facts ready, like on paper in a file, and he would be like, no, you're wrong because of this, this, this. So that's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. 8 of Wands reverse. The Page of Wands reverse. I'm also seeing that one character from BoJack Horseman. I'm just trying to think what her name is. Queen of Cups reverse, which was at the back of the deck not so long ago. I think I'm picking up on Diane from BoJack Horseman. I'm just looking up her personality because I don't remember everything about each character so that I can relay that to you, because maybe there's something within her personality that kind of describes you, since I'm seeing her in this reading. So her personality is complex, defined by her idealism, passion, and intellect, which are often at odds with her cynicism, stubbornness, and deep-seated insecurities. I know that she had a lot of trauma in there, and like she was always trying to overcome her trauma and maybe use, I think she was like writing, if I'm not mistaken, like use writing as a way to kind of like cope with what she went through. If it's not writing, apologies. She is outwardly outspoken and fiercely opinionated about social justice, but she also struggles with self-doubt, moral hypocrisy, and a savior complex. This internal conflict makes her both relatable and flawed, and her journey is a central exploration of the show's themes of self-destruction and the illusion of change. And I got that when I pulled the Page of Wands reverse, so maybe some people might see you as a little bit cynical, but also realistic about your opinions or views of things. And it's interesting because we have Justice reversed at the back of the deck, so we spoke about like moral compass there. Maybe sometimes people see you talking about something you don't agree with, but then doing it yourself and think like, what the F? But I think that's sometimes human nature, not excusing the behavior or anything like that. I think sometimes people are like that. We're all flawed as humans. But I think that contributes to people's view of you. With the Eight of Wands reversed, people see you as somebody that takes your time with decisions, takes your time with relationships, and also takes your time with tasks you're doing or with your goals. You're not looking to create fast results that are just going to fly away the moment you have it. You're looking for results that are going to be long lasting and are going to stay in your life and kind of have quality to it or substance to it. But even relationships, like you're not looking to rush into relationships. You want to get to know the person fully and make sure you feel comfortable around them, make sure their relationship can work and be something of long-term value to you. But I do also think since you chose the fairy crystal, maybe you have a mystical side to you as well. Like with this practical, hardworking energy we spoke about, you may also be quite spiritual or magical in some way. Maybe some of you remind people of fairies with the way you look or the way you speak or just your demeanor in general, your personality. Maybe some of you are short or petite like a fairy. But even if not, maybe you just remind people of fairy energy. So how else do people see my pile number 3s? People see you as somebody that doesn't need motivation. You just need consistency. Like even when you're not motivated to do something, you're going to get up and do it anyways. And you create routines for yourself that you follow. And even if there are days where maybe you skip out on some things or you don't do everything on your to-do list, you make sure that you make up for it on another day or that you continue to be consistent the rest of the week. Even if you have off days, it doesn't mean that it affects your progress in any way because most of the time you try to stay pretty consistent with what you're doing, with your routine and your goals. And the thing is with you, if you're focused on something and somebody else wants to come in and be like, oh, let's go out and do this fun thing while you're busy with something, you might not turn it down, but you might just show up a little bit later. So I see somebody kind of like studying, for example, where maybe they're in college or university and their friends are like, let's go out, but maybe you have an exam or test tomorrow and it's like, you first have to do that, then you can go out. You know what I mean? So I'm seeing that kind of energy here of like, you still don't miss out on fun things, but you try to get all your responsibilities down first. So maybe people do see you as a responsible person, someone they look up to and would like to be more like in that sense. I'm hearing that could never be me though, even though I want to be like that. People just see you as very put together. They would want to be more like you, but they just don't know how. Maybe people also see you as organized yet relaxed, perfectionistic yet relaxed. You do things effortlessly where it seems like you don't even break a sweat, or it doesn't seem that hard for you to keep this kind of energy up. Some people think it's a facade though, and that you have chaos behind closed doors and that you seem so put together on the outside, but it's not like that behind closed doors. But I think they're just projecting. So the Three of Swords is opposite the Page of Wands, where we spoke about a cynical nature. So maybe people think you're like this because of the hurt, pain, or trauma you've been through. Though people do see you as a very likable person, someone they would be compatible with or get along with. They see you as someone with a growth mindset. And they see you as someone that's kind of like a breath of fresh air, yet sexy or tempting at the same time with the devil at the back of the deck. Some people may think you have a toxic side to you, as we all do, but they might not know what it is completely or how to describe it completely. It may be kind of like hidden to them since it's at the back of the deck, but that you are working on yourself and growing through that with the tree here. I just feel like people see you as very intellectual and They love the conversations with you. It's very interesting, but you also intellectually stimulate people in conversation. So I'm going to remove these now and check what we get for zodiacs and initials. I'm hoping to get the zodiac or initials of those that see you this way, or your zodiac or initials. So let me know what comes up for you, and let me know how this has resonated for you so far in the comments below. I heard the word feisty now. Some people see you as intimidating, where they wouldn't want to mess with you because of your feistiness. Like, I see someone saying something to you thinking you would never clap back at them, and then they're like kind of taken aback by your feistiness, by your response, Cancer, and then they never mess with you again. We have Leo. We have Scorpio. Oh, I love these signs coming through. We have Sagittarius, Aries, lots of fire sign energy, and Libra. Okay, so now let's take a look at initials. I also heard the word overachiever, and I'm seeing someone with like 2 dogs, or somebody that's kind of like a pet lover. You can sometimes be blunt, but not rude. You say the truth, but sometimes you can be a little bit blunt with it. We have the initial N, A, J. People are also like scared to get on your bad side or scared to annoy you. I don't know why. I, H, L. I also see people desperately seeking your approval or your validation. R, S, A, T, and Y. So that is all I have for you, pile 3. I do hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this resonated down in the comments below. If you like my readings and you want to see more exclusive content of mine, I do post a weekly video on my membership. So thank you for being here and watching, and I can't wait to see you next time.